Welcome back, Legendary Potato here. Today I want to talk to you guys about why modding is super important for map making on Minecraft Console Edition. So I'm just going to be kind of go over some few points that I feel like are kind of important to why modding is kind of a big deal and why you should mod your maps if you're looking into map making and stuff like that. So hope you guys do enjoy this video, but let's get right into it. So my first point here is that you can get custom items, enchantments, attributes, potions, etc., stuff like that, which means you can have custom items you can kind of customize more instead of just using creative inventory or throwing enchantments on with like an enchantment table or an anvil. You can kind of customize it to the way you want. So if you want to give somebody like a knockback 10, or if you want to just give somebody like a modded item like a barrier block or a mob spawner, you can do that and use those in your worlds, which I think is really helpful as well. So you can pretty much customize things a lot more. Or you can have a custom potion, so you can have like, you know, jump boost 4, you can have like speed 4, you can do all this really cool stuff. I feel like is really important to have in that way. If you really want to take map making to the next level, I feel like it would be huge if people actually use that. I feel like it's very essential for me when I'm map making to have some of these things in as well. So that is the first point there, is just having things like custom items, enchantments, attributes, stuff like that, just so that you can customize everything a little bit more in depth. So my second point here is adding mods. So basically, there's been lots of mods made by the community. There's things like the rocket ship mod, there's things like a swing set. There's just tons of different mods that you can use pretty much. Just if you look up like on opriselp.com, there's tons of mods that you can use and copy the code of or copy a tutorial of and use it in your own world. So there's tons. There's a whole list of cool things you can do with the game, which I think is really cool. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of cool things, like you can, you know, change how every single mob does something. You can make like custom bosses, stuff like that. There's a whole list. I can't even, you know, scratch the surface of all there. But I think it's kind of huge if you want to have, you know, custom stuff that other people have made and you think you could use it in your own map. I think it's kind of cool in that sort of sense that you could do that, which I think is why that's kind of important as well, to have, you know, what the community has made and kind of use that in your own sort of thing. But anyways, that's point number 2. Point number 3 is end gateways. So if you're making a modded map, a lot of times if you want to bring players across the worlds, it can be quite difficult. A lot of people would use nether hubs, but with the recent update of TU46, we can have custom end gateways that allow you to teleport or make a custom teleport, so it teleports you to a precise location that you can modify yourself. So if you want to teleport somebody all the way across the worlds, you can make a teleporter that does that. So let's say you're making an adventure map, or you're making, you know, some sort of mini game map, and you want to quickly bring players to a certain part of the map to like get into the game, or, you know, go to a certain part, then you can do that. And I think that's really handy, especially if you're trying to make a very professional map. You don't need to have a nether hub. You can just make it straight into the worlds right there and just kind of have a portal and it's all good to go, which I think is super essential because nether hubs can lag the world, causes problems, stuff like that. So I think having an overworld just sort of teleporter thing makes it so much more efficient, which I think is really important. So that's point number 3. Point number 4, convert to PC. So you're also able to convert to PC for things like mod tools, so you can use things like MC Edit. So if you want to take your map even further and use things like that, so you can, you know, have like custom terrain or have custom biomes and do stuff like that, which you wouldn't be able to do on a console, you're able to have PC tools while still making your map compatible, obviously, for console, as long as you make sure you don't use anything that wouldn't work on console, then it all works out, and just kind of making, you know, more customized terrain and doing it more efficiently. So just using things like that as well, using the PC programs that have been around for years, which I think would be really cool as well if people use those more frequently, because I don't see them being used as much as they probably could be for like maps and stuff. If people wanted to make it a custom biome or a custom giant terrain that you don't want to build on Xbox, I feel like that would be huge and game changing. People took advantage of that, since we do have a lot of converters as well, so you can pretty much do it without a problem. So that is point number 4. And the last point for today's video is putting up things like download links and making your maps available for all consoles as well. So basically, we have tons of tools that allow us to convert maps, and we can upload maps, share them, make download links and stuff like that so others can play them. Obviously, you have to do a little bit of, you know, hard drive or just kind of flash drive, you know, stuff like that, where you have to, you know, do things for your 360 or your PlayStation or your Wii U, so you have to do a little bit of that. But if you do want to share your map with the world, you know, making sure that you're your download links, like have you know, downloads for all the consoles so anybody can play them, is really huge. Getting your map out there, because there's a lot of times where map makers don't put their maps up for download or don't know how to put their maps up for download when they want to, and it just kind of becomes a problem. So if people figured out how to put their maps up for download more, it would be huge. There would be so many more maps coming out and stuff like that. But it just seems like it's something that's not too accessible unless people want to actually try and learn it too much. Sometimes people don't want to put in the effort, which is a little understandable. But anyways, hopefully this video was somewhat informative to you guys. Hope you guys learned something from it, or just kind of, you know, what you guys thought of my thoughts and stuff like that. I just kind of thought I would put down some points why modding is, you know, really important to map making in my opinion. Let me know if I missed anything down in the comments, what you guys think, and make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel so you don't miss content. I do videos every single day, so if you want to see them in your sub feed, then you can go ahead and hit that sub button, because it's great and stuff. But I'll see you guys in the next one, so have a good one and peace out.